A few things in the pockets already. I got a flashlight, which I just put on my head when I'm out there. I like this. I like having a flashlight like this because, to be honest, when it's nighttime, you don't need to use your hands. You just turn your flashlight on.
Go on.
You just put it on your head. I don't have a battery in here right now, but you just turn it on and you can see everything that you're looking at. So it's really convenient, right? I got a lighter in here to start a fire, right? Then in my other pocket, I have, this is a bug net for your face. To be honest, if the bugs get bad, you're gonna want one of these. And sometimes, you can have other things to cover you up, but you definitely want one of these. And you just toss this on. Boom. See? Covered. No problemo. And you also have this bear bell. You can shut it up by just wrapping it up the way I just had it. Makes very little noise when you have it in there. And then you can put it on, one of your clothings. And if you're hiking alone, this is useful because you're constantly making a ringing sound. You want wildlife to know you're coming. And if this is ringing from a distance, then they won't be surprised. You don't want to surprise wildlife. And so they'll leave the area as you're walking by, right? Then you have your stove. Believe it or not, this is how small the stoves are nowadays. So, boom. See, this comes open like this. Just open it up, and that's your stove. And you take one of these, which is your propane. You could buy it at your local outdoors equipment store, and screw it on. Okay. They have smaller propane tanks, so I'll show you later. So it doesn't have to be this big, but the spoon I have, it's a spork, so you got the ability to puncture your food, eat it, or just eat it if it's a stew or whatever. And then you got one of these. So these are neat because you just put this on the bottom, and it stabilizes your propane tank. So if you are, let's say, on uneven ground, you don't have to worry about it because this will just make it stable. And last thing you want is your propane tank falling off with your food, right? And this part here is what I use to as my pot and my bowls. So this is the GSI Pinnacle Dualist, and it's enough for 2 people to eat from, and it packs quite tight. This is a smaller propane tank which you could fit in here, and it's actually very compactable. So a lot of fits in here. You got another bowl in there too. These GSI bowls are great because you can use the bottom piece as a bowl, and then this piece you can use as a mug. You might be wondering what this silver piece is, and it's called a pot cozy. I'm not going to go into the details of it yet, but what it roughly does is it insulates your pot and it keeps the heat in the pot. So if you are boiling and hydrating food, you put your pot in here, and it's going to keep the heat in there, so you don't have to use a lot of your gas, your fuel, and it'll just warm up your food and hydrate it because you're using one of these. This is a windbreaker. You put it on the stove that I showed earlier, and this is to put the windbreaker on. So I can show this how it all works in another video, but the main thing is that you'll see in this video is that it's very compact. I like this setup. There's many other ways that you could heat your food, but this is what I figured out to be the most convenient for me. And I usually don't go on a hike alone, but even if I do, I just leave a bowl behind her. You got a bag cover for your bag. When I first found out about a bag cover, I thought that was a pretty weird thing. But to be honest, they don't make bags waterproof, not completely waterproof at least, and some you could still find some, but to be honest, the companies don't make it an effort to make it waterproof. I think so that they can focus on other parts of the bag, and also the waterproofing material I think is hard to withstand durability in the long run. So they just focus on the bag, and they leave it to bag cover to do the rest of the work for waterproofing. So you just take one of these out. Oh, okay, see? And they have different sizes. They'll have a large size, a small size, medium size. So you get the size that is going to fit your bag, and you just put it over. And another reason why these are good is because, like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of different compartments and bags on the outside of the bag, which things are going to be. I'll show you how it's going to pack. That things are just going to be sitting on the outside. This covers all of that when it starts raining, right? If it's just, let's say, the material here, that stuff doesn't get covered. So this is the bag cover for rain protection. I actually like it. I didn't want to get one of these in the beginning. I was trying to find a waterproof bag, and I'm actually very happy with this arrangement. So not as bad as it seems, to be honest. I got a pillow. This is a little bit excessive for I think some people, but to be honest, it's not that big for me. I like to bring one of these. I like to make sure that I'm sleeping comfortably, and some people just put some clothes under their sleeping bag, and they just sleep on top of that. So I bring one of these, and surprisingly, it's actually a very realistic pillow once you blow it up. I actually can't tell the difference when I'm out there. I'm just super happy I have a pillow when I'm out there. So I really like this pillow. This is from MEC. Then we got the mattress. So this is cool because not all the Thermarest Neo Airs, boom, right there, okay. Not all of these come with this option. I got one that does. Not sure if it's going to be easy for you to find one of these, but if you don't have the one that I have, there's a little valve that you just unscrew on the side here. You blow it up, right? I like this one because of convenience. This has its downsides, but overall, you may not notice this just looking at the mattress. You may inflate it all the way. To be honest, you don't want to inflate it all the way all the time, or usually never, because when you're on it, you want it to be soft like your mattress at home. When you're laying down on it, you want to sink into it. So leave it a little bit uninflated. Don't push it all the way. And there you go. Look at this. Whoa! Oh my God! It's huge, right? That's all in that little sack. So I got the Western Mountaineering sleeping bag, and it's a down sleeping bag. These pack up really, really tightly in your bag once you put it together. So I'm gonna pack it up right now so you can see how small this packs. Okay. Also, I bought a separate bag for my sleeping bag. Okay. So this compresses your sleeping bag so it packs really tight. This one here, which comes with the Western Mountaineering sleeping bag, is a bag that you use to store the bag. So you don't keep it super tight, and it ruins the feathers that are in the down sleeping bag. So you use this to keep the fluff. Okay, so very important. Look at that, very tight in there. So once it's in your backpack, you know, compared to how big it was earlier, you know, you got a really great sleeping bag in a very small size that you're carrying around. So I would recommend getting something, you know, no more longer than this. If it's going to be wider, you know, it's going to take up a lot of space. It's going to leave you bulking out a lot of your other stuff. This is where you probably want to put most of your budget. You know, a good sleeping bag could last you years. So the Western Mountaineering, definitely very, very well reviewed, and it's the company has been around for a long time. This tarp's 3 by 4 meters, and it weighs 875 grams. This ends up being a pretty useful tarp when you're out there. You cover a lot of space, quite handy. This is the tarp to the bottom of my tent. My tent's right here. So this forms my shelter. And this fits 2 people comfortably. And let me see if I can find the weight on here. Yes, it's 3 pounds. Floor area is about 43 square feet. So I'll show you how this unpacks in another video. I'm going to unpack it in the house. That'd just be crazy. So yeah, so this goes under it. I got the Lecky Vertical K hiking sticks. You know, without hiking sticks, you're basically putting all the work on your legs, right, and your knees. When you have hiking sticks, you alleviate a lot of that stress on your legs and your knees, and you transfer it over to your upper body. And you could actually take off a lot of weight by using these sticks. So that's why I like them, because when I first started hiking, I did not. And I was thinking, you know, it's much easier for me to, you know, naturally get around without them. But in the long run, when I started using them, they made my hiking experience a lot easier and my recovery a lot quicker after the hike. So I recommend using hiking sticks. This is the MSR Trail Shot, and I'll show you how I use it in another video. But very convenient. You know, there's a lot of different filters out there, and this one's very convenient because you can just grab it out of your bag very quickly. I put it on the outside here, grab it out, and you know, just squeeze the water into a bottle. And you know, it doesn't take much to set up and pack up. So you know, if you're hiking with a group, you know, someone runs out of water and they're asking, you don't really have to stop stop for long to fill up everybody's water. It could just be fairly quick.